The moon hangs low, its cold silver light barely piercing through the dense canopy of a forest that seems alive with secrets. A lone car winds its way down a desolate path, the mist swallowing its trail as shadows twist and contort unnaturally in the periphery. Inside the car, Armin grips the steering wheel, his pulse quickening with every whispered legend echoing in his mind, stories of a cursed place where the trees speak and the lost never return. The villagers warned him. They spoke of a forest that calls to its prey, a place where reality bends, and time becomes a trap. But Armin never believed them. Not until tonight. A voice cuts through the suffocating silence, soft yet unmistakable, carried by the wind like a haunting melody, Armin. His name. From the darkness. The headlights flicker, and in the distance, a shape looms, a shrine, ancient and foreboding, its weathered stones drenched in mystery. Something pulls him toward it, something beyond reason, beyond fear. As the whispers grow louder, the air thickens, the forest closes in, and Armin's world begins to unravel. What lies within that shrine? Is it salvation, or a trap spun by the forest itself? Stay with Armin as he steps into the unknown, where every shadow hides a secret, every whisper holds a warning, and escape may no longer be an option. The forest has claimed him, but can he resist its call, or is it already too late? The camera shows the road stretching endlessly, lined with ancient trees whose silhouettes loom like watchful sentinels in the shadows. The sounds of the tires crunching over gravel are the only thing breaking the silence. There's an unsettling quiet, almost as if the forest itself is holding its breath. The occasional sound of a branch snapping in the distance creates an eerie sense of being watched. Inside the car, Armin is driving alone. His face is pale, illuminated only by the faint light of the dashboard. His fingers grip the steering wheel tightly, his knuckles white from tension. He glances nervously out the window, the flickering trees casting long, unnerving shadows as he drives deeper into the woods. The fog rolls in thicker, surrounding the car like a suffocating blanket. His breath fogs up the windshield despite the heat being on. His GPS is glitching, the map spinning wildly, its signal lost. He's off course, completely lost. What was supposed to be a short detour has turned into a confusing labyrinth. Armin's anxiety grows. He had been driving for hours, trying to follow the GPS to a friend's house, but now it felt as though the forest had swallowed all sense of direction. He glances nervously at the rearview mirror, empty. The path ahead seems to wind on forever, the darkness thickening, closing in like the jaws of a trap. A soft whisper fills the car. It's barely audible, but clear as day. The wind picks up, rustling through the trees outside. Armin. Armin freezes, his heart skipping a beat. His hands instinctively tighten around the wheel. He glances nervously at the rearview mirror again, scanning the empty road behind him, but sees nothing. The forest is still, as though holding its breath. The whisper comes again, this time louder and closer. Armin. Come to us. His breath catches. The hairs on the back of his neck stand up. He rolls the window down slightly, trying to breathe fresh air, to calm himself, but the air outside is thick and heavy. It feels like the forest itself is alive, watching him, waiting for him to make the next move. The trees seem to bend inward, as if the forest is pressing closer, suffocating him in its embrace. The whispers grow more insistent, louder, urging him deeper into the woods. Every instinct in his body screams to turn back, but curiosity pulls him forward, against his better judgment. The camera reveals a fork in the road, one path continuing into the dense woods, and the other marked by a weathered sign barely visible through the mist, the Whispering Woods. Armin stops, his car slowing to a crawl. The whispers intensify, now more than just a whisper, a chorus of voices, low and echoing through the trees. His heart races in his chest as his gaze shifts from the sign to the path leading deeper into the woods. He remembers the tales the villagers had shared, the warning about this cursed place. The old legends spoke of trees that spoke, of a forest that led travelers astray, trapping them in its depths. They said the woods would claim their souls, dragging them into its dark heart, never to be seen again. The words, the Whispering Woods, swirl in his mind, each syllable heavier than the last. A cold shiver runs down his spine. Without thinking, he turns the wheel to the left, veering onto the narrow path that leads deeper into the forest. As the car moves forward, the mist grows thicker, and the trees close in around him, their dark, gnarled branches stretching out like skeletal hands. The camera shows the narrowing road, the shadows growing deeper, more oppressive. The whispers continue, growing louder and more desperate, as though the forest itself is urging him on. Armin, come closer. Don't turn back. The air becomes thick, suffocating. Armin's grip tightens on the wheel, his pulse racing. His reflection in the rearview mirror seems distorted, as if the woods are changing him already. The headlights flicker in the dense fog, casting twisted shadows that dance like specters on the road. He swallows hard, the cold sweat forming on his brow. His mind screams at him to stop, to turn around, but something pulls him forward. As the car crawls down the winding path, Armin's headlights briefly catch a dark shape at the side of the road. The figure is tall, almost human but far too still, its features indistinguishable in the thick mist. Armin's breath catches in his throat. He slows the car, unsure if what he's seeing is real. The figure stands motionless, watching him, or so it seems. The camera zooms in slowly, the headlights illuminating its towering form, but as Armin drives closer, the figure seems to dissolve into the shadows, blending seamlessly with the forest. It vanishes, leaving only the empty road and the oppressive silence. Armin shakes his head, a nervous laugh escaping his lips. What the hell was that? He mutters to himself, his voice trembling. But as the car moves forward, his heartbeat doesn't slow. The whispers are still there, swirling around him like a storm. He glances at the rearview mirror again, half expecting to see the figure there. But it's gone, leaving only the suffocating mist in its place. The uneasy feeling in his chest grows. He can't shake the sense that something is watching him from the darkness. The ancient shrine. Suddenly, the trees begin to part, revealing an old stone structure in the clearing ahead. The shrine stands in the midst of the fog, its ancient stone walls covered in thick moss and vines. The air is cold here, unnaturally still. The whispers quiet, as if waiting for him to approach. Armin steps out of the car, the ground beneath him cold and damp. The camera follows his hesitant steps as he walks toward the shrine. The quiet feels oppressive now, the forest eerily still, as if it's holding its breath. His footsteps echo in the silence. The shrine's door is ajar, creaking in the wind. The air around it feels wrong, heavy, thick, as though the very earth beneath him is alive. Something primal tugs at his mind, pushing him forward. He can't turn back now, can he? He steps inside, the camera following his movements. The shrine is dark and cold, the faint flicker of a single candle casting long, twisting shadows on the stone walls. Strange symbols are carved into the walls, their meanings lost to time. The whispers return, now louder than before, more insistent, like an invisible crowd surrounding him. In the center of the room, on a pedestal, lies an ancient book. The pages are yellowed with age, the cover darkened with time. Armin's fingers tremble as he reaches for it. His breath is shallow, his heart pounding in his chest. The camera zooms in on the book as he opens it, the first page blank. He turns the page, and suddenly, words begin to appear, written in a strange, ancient script. Those who follow the whispers will never find the way out. The words seem to burn into his mind, each letter more chilling than the last. The room begins to shift, the air growing heavier, pressing down on him. A low, rumbling growl vibrates through the stone beneath him. The door slams shut behind him with a deafening bang. The whispers turn into a cacophony, voices everywhere, echoing through the room, calling to him, pulling him deeper into the shrine. Leave now, or stay forever. Armin stumbles backward, his heart pounding in his chest. He tries to pull the door open, but it's no use. The walls of the shrine begin to close in, the room shrinking, the air growing thick with an unnatural cold. As Armin frantically searches for a way out, he notices the pages in the book have changed. The text is no longer in an ancient script, but in a language he understands. Welcome, Armin. You have crossed the threshold. Now you are one of us. The walls of the shrine seem to warp and twist. Shadows begin to move, swirling like smoke. Figures emerge from the darkness. They are the lost souls, the ones who had ventured into the woods and never returned. Their eyes glow with an eerie, unnatural light, and their forms shift unnervingly. One figure steps forward, its hollow eyes fixed on Armin. Its voice is dry and rasping as it speaks. You should not have come here, Armin. You are bound to the woods now. You will never leave. The ground beneath Armin trembles, and he feels himself being pulled toward the center of the shrine. Roots and vines rise from the stone floor, wrapping around his legs, holding him in place. The shadows close in, surrounding him. The whispers turn into a roar, a deafening chorus that fills his mind. The last thing Armin hears is the voice that first called him, now clearer, louder than ever. Armin, you belong to the woods now. As the darkness consumes him, the screen fades to black, leaving only the echo of the whispers. As the haunting tale of Armin's journey through the whispering woods comes to a chilling close, we're left with more questions than answers. What happened to Armin? Did he become another lost soul, bound to the trees forever? Or is there something even darker waiting in the shadows of that ancient shrine? But as we stand on the edge of this mystery, we know one thing for sure: the woods are never truly quiet. The whispers never stop. So, if you're brave enough, you might just hear them too. What do you think happened to Armin? Do you believe the whispers have claimed him, or is there something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? Drop your theories and thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this chilling journey into the unknown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more spine-tingling stories like this one. The darkness is always waiting, and who knows what else we might uncover. Thank you for watching, and remember, keep your lights on, and never stray too far from the path. You never know who, or what, might be waiting in the shadows. Story number 2. The Haunted Lullaby. Have you ever heard a song that feels like it's calling to you from the dark? A melody that, despite its soothing tones, fills you with an unsettling sense of dread? Imagine this: it's midnight, the world is quiet, and from the depths of the night, a strange lullaby drifts through the air. It's soft, almost comforting at first, but as the notes wrap around your mind, something strange begins to happen. The song pulls you deeper and deeper into an unexplainable trance. Some say it's a song of ancient origins, one sung by spirits of the forgotten who haunt the silent hours. Others believe it's a curse, passed down through generations, whispered by the wind to those who are vulnerable enough to hear it. But no one can agree on its true power, except for one thing: once you hear it, you're never quite the same again. For years, people have claimed to hear this haunting lullaby just before they fall into an eerily vivid sleep, only to wake up in a world that feels not entirely their own. But what if this song isn't just a lullaby? What if it's more of a warning, a spell that binds you to a realm between dreams and reality, where shadows dance and the past never stays buried? And what if the lullaby is waiting for you next, its chilling notes echoing in the stillness of the night? Stay with me as we uncover the unsettling truth behind this haunted melody, and find out why it's not just a song, it's a journey into the unknown. By the end of this video, you'll never listen to a lullaby the same way again. Imagine you're lying in your bed, the clock strikes midnight, and the world around you is still. You might hear the rustling of leaves outside your window or the distant call of an owl. But tonight, something is different. A soft melody drifts into your ears, a lullaby, gentle, almost sweet. The kind of song that might make you think of childhood memories, of calm nights and peaceful dreams. At first, you might think it's nothing more than the wind playing tricks, or maybe a neighbor's music seeping through the walls. But as the song continues, a chill runs down your spine. The melody is familiar, yet it feels wrong. It's too slow, too deliberate. The notes, though soft, carry a weight, like they're pulling you towards something you can't quite explain. The origins of the haunted lullaby are as mysterious as the song itself. Some say it dates back centuries, passed from one generation to the next, always whispered by someone in the dead of night. It's often said to be the song of the lurking spirits, beings from an ancient forest that long ago fell to ruin. Legends tell that these spirits, forever trapped between the realms of the living and the dead, created the lullaby as a way to draw people into their realm. The lullaby isn't just a song, it's a ritual, one that has been unintentionally passed down through whispers in villages, towns, and cities. It's said that the song has the power to cross time and space, entering your dreams and pulling you into a state of deep sleep. But it's not the peaceful sleep you'd expect. It's the kind of slumber where reality blurs, where you see things that shouldn't be there, hear voices that shouldn't exist. When you hear the lullaby, it's already too late. Something inside you shifts. Your senses begin to distort. The world you once knew becomes unclear, almost like you're waking up from a dream that never really ends. You may try to ignore it, but the lullaby doesn't let you go. It lingers, echoing in your mind, pulling you deeper into a trance-like sleep. And once you're there, you enter a realm that is a mixture of dreams and nightmares. People who have heard the lullaby describe it as both comforting and terrifying. There's a sense of peace, like being cradled by a mother's arms, but there's something off, like a presence standing just behind you, unseen but always there. Sometimes, people wake up in the middle of the night with a vague memory of someone singing. Other times, they wake up in a cold sweat, their bodies frozen in place, as if the song has reached into their very soul. Some believe the song is linked to an ancient curse, one that binds the listener to the very forest where the lullaby was born. Those who succumb to the song are said to become bound, living in the space between life and death. Their bodies remain in the waking world, but their souls are trapped in a realm where the trees whisper their secrets, and shadows walk without a body. Over the years, people have reported strange occurrences after hearing the lullaby. Many of them talk about waking up in unfamiliar places, places that shouldn't exist. Streets that lead to nowhere. Empty houses with memories of past lives. Some claim to hear the lullaby again, even during daylight, as if it's following them, reminding them that it never truly leaves. In some rare cases, people report waking up with unexplainable marks on their skin, deep scratches, bruises, and symbols that seem to be tied to the forgotten forest from where the lullaby originates. These marks are never found by doctors or medical professionals, and often, those who have been touched by the song say the marks disappear after a few days, only to return when the song plays again. But that's not the scariest part. The most chilling aspect of the lullaby is its ability to change. It adapts to the listener. For some, the lullaby becomes a soothing, rhythmic song, lulling them deeper into an eternal slumber. For others, it's a distorted and haunting tune that causes them to experience their deepest fears, their most vivid nightmares, as if they are living through them while wide awake. The truth behind the lullaby, as many believe, is tied to an ancient forest that is no longer on any map, a place where the trees have whispered for centuries. The trees are said to be alive, and they remember the voices of those who wandered too deep into their depths. The spirits that haunt these woods are not content to remain forgotten. They seek those who can hear their song, those who are vulnerable to its call. Some say that the lullaby leads to an ancient shrine hidden within the forest, a shrine older than any civilization that has come and gone. There, it is said, the spirits of the forest gather, watching as the living become one with them. Some who have ventured too close to the forest have reported hearing the lullaby grow louder and more intense the further they go, until, eventually, they find themselves standing at the edge of the shrine, unable to move. What happens there? No one truly knows. Those who have entered and never returned are often seen as lost to the spirits of the forest, their fate sealed by the lullaby's call. But there are whispers. Whispers that say those who have heard the song and survived are not the same. They are marked, forever connected to the forest and its spirits, always hearing the faintest trace of the lullaby in the back of their minds. So, what does the lullaby mean for those who hear it? It is said that once the song is heard, it cannot be forgotten. The song will always find you, even if you try to escape. Its pull is relentless, never letting go. It becomes a part of you, a haunting, beautiful melody that fills your dreams and twists your waking thoughts. It changes everything. Once you've heard it, you'll never look at the night the same way again. And there's something even more terrifying. The lullaby doesn't just affect the person who hears it. It has been known to affect families, friends, and even whole communities. Some say it spreads like a virus, starting with one person and slowly claiming others, weaving its eerie spell until no one can escape its influence. But despite the fear it evokes, people continue to seek out the lullaby. Some are drawn to the mystery, hoping to understand the dark power behind the song. Others want to prove they can resist its call. Yet no one can say for sure if they have truly escaped it, because the lullaby never really stops. It waits patiently, ready to call again. So, what do you think? Is the haunted lullaby just a figment of old legends, or is there more to this eerie melody than we can understand? Whether it's a curse, a call from the other side, or something even darker, one thing is certain: the lullaby's grip on those who hear it is unshakable. It doesn't just stay in your dreams, it follows you, haunts you, and even changes the way you look at the world around you. The next time the clock strikes midnight, and the silence of the night begins to press in around you, listen closely. Is that the wind, or is it the soft, haunting notes of the lullaby, creeping into your mind once again? If you found this story as unsettling as I did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced something like this? Do you think the lullaby is real, or just a chilling tale? And if you want to stay on the edge of your seat for more mysteries like this one, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep listening, because you never know when the lullaby might call.